Hey, what's up? So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the differences between observation, perceptions, and reactions. This past week, I had the opportunity to do an Iceman challenge where we got into this lake. It was all frozen, and did some Wim Hof breathing exercises, and then went into the lake that was frozen. And it was fascinating. I was there among a lot of people. There's like 15 of us, and I'm here in Utah, and I thought like how powerful our minds and bodies are. And as I was going through there was one lady. She was like freaking out. She was out there. It was cold. She was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And had so much negative talk all the time. I can't do this. I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm crazy. What made me sign up for this? Why am I doing this? And I thought, as she was saying that, number one, how we do one thing reflects other things in our life. So I look at her and I watch this, and without making any, like, it's just an analysis and it's a reality that I know that how she's reacting right there probably affects her relationships, probably is affecting her health, probably is affecting a lot of things in her life. She was a little overweight. I could tell that she had struggled with some self-talk in the past, and it was showing up. The cold was being the mirror for her to say, hey, these are the things inside of you that if you don't confront and change, it's going to continue leading you on your path of struggle. And as I was going through this, I was there with a good chiropractic friend of mine, and we were just kind of on a whim, like, let's do this. And I don't like the cold. Like, it's one thing that I don't like. I love to be warm. And so I thought, well, if I don't like it, I probably ought to go do it. So I was just like, sure, I'm going to sign up and go do this thing. And I've done a lot of breathing techniques and I've done Wim Hof stuff, but I've not done the ice immersion. And I've done hot, cold, sheet treatments and like ice to hot, but never in this scenario. So I thought, okay, this is something that I don't want to do. So that means I need to do it. There's some sort of lesson for me. There's something that I need to confront. And I knew the power of this for years. Even before becoming a coach, as I went and served a 2-year church mission for my church to Mexico. And one of my leaders challenged us, and I made this commitment back then. Anybody who challenged me to do something on my mission, I was just going to do it. So and I hate running, like loathe it. In high school, I quit track like 3 or 4 times, and they kept signing me up, and every year I'd quit because I hated to run. I had like breathing problems, and I just couldn't stand to run. So I did like sprints, and that was it. Like nothing, if it was a mile or more, no. So one of my leaders was a marathon runner, and one of the first things he does, he's like all stoic, and he's like, all right, so I challenge you to run a marathon. And I was like, no, don't say that to me. And I was like, ah. So I was like, okay, like I got to run a marathon. So I ended up running a marathon after my mission, prepped and did all this stuff, and I ran it. It was super hard, but I did it. And as I was looking back on this experience this past weekend, going into the ice, I thought, how many times in my life have I thought that something was hard, something was difficult, something that I couldn't triumph over because of all these labels of my past perceptions. And just because I think it is hard, that is why it is hard. In the past, I thought it was hard to run, so it was. I thought it was hard to make $100,000, so it was. I thought it was hard to make $10,000, so it was. I thought it was hard to have a relationship, so it was. I thought it was hard to get in shape, so it was. I thought it was hard to confront the cold, so it was. What we think, we tend to get, and what we avoid tends to continue to happen until we finally confront that thing and say, okay, I am going to rise above this situation, this circumstance, and confront the lessons, confront the avoidance so that I can truly become who I'm meant to be. So this past weekend was phenomenal. Number one, I didn't want to do it, so I knew I needed to do it. So I just signed up and went. Number two, I knew I might chicken out, so I got someone to hold me accountable. I roped my friend into it, and I was like, hey, come with me. I know you're crazy too, so let's go do this. So we go do it, And in this experience, I hear this lady in her dialogue, in her negativity, and I just realize what part of me is not voicing it out loud, but feels like something is hard, that I'm doing something stupid. Like, why am I doing this? And I realized in my business and my family, I look at that and I say, okay, if I am hearing someone, I know first and foremost that there's some part of me that is contributing to this. Some part of me must feel like she feels. She feels like she wants to quit. She feels like she wants to give up. Even though in my logical brain, I'm like, I can do this, I can do anything I put my mind to. If I am around someone, the only reason she would be saying that in my realm, and I was linked to her in a group, that would be because some part of me has that as well. So I thank her for that lesson, first and foremost, and thank you for being the mirror that I need to change. To say, okay, what in my life am I not confronting? What am I in right now that I just want to quit? What am I in that I think I'm crazy for doing? And as I opened up my mind to see it, the answers came. Some was for my ads. Some was for, really, am I fully committed in my marriage with my children? Am I fully present with them? Or does some part of me want to turn and go do something more fun, quote unquote? But when I look at that, I say, okay, it's time to confront what I've been avoiding. So we walk down to the ice and we go in and it was cold. I did the breathing exercise and I walk in and then my whole body was just like wanting to lock up. And I knew that it's just a physical response, and it was all in the mind, but my mind controls the body and the body controls the mind. So I knew we had to train through breath and to sit in it. And as I sat in it, it got to a point where part of me just wanted to quit. Part of me felt like I was a wimp. Part of me felt like I couldn't do it. Part of me felt like all these feelings. And as I just sat through it, confronting these feelings, learning from them, embracing them, just breathing, letting them come and go, all my body reactions, fighting and flighting, deciding, you know what? I am going to sit here, be in the moment, be present. And as I did, a euphoria happened where I just felt warm. It felt great. It felt nice. And I went fully under and just embraced for over a minute just this experience. I got out. My whole body was like electrical, just like sending tingles everywhere. And I got out and I continued to do some breath work and I just started crying. I just had this release of emotions. We had a baby recently. We've not been sleeping much. We've had all sorts of things we're trying to balance. Our second to youngest gets hurt like every other day. And it's like, oh my goodness, how do we like manage everything and trying to grow my business to the next level and hit $1 million in less than 6 months and impact people and spread my message and get on all these podcasts and share with people the true essence of transformation and change while not sacrificing the things that I love, like my family and the spiritual time that I have. And I look at that, and as I go through that moment, all the emotions just vanished. And I observed them for a moment. And I looked at them and I said, you know what? I am strong enough and determined enough to do anything I choose in my life. Nothing can keep me from that. And I look at that and I say, am I fully committed to my family? Am I fully 100% committed to my team? Am I fully 100% committed to the cause of helping people become unstoppable on their mission to success, to go and live fully, embracing every moment, every day? And some part of me wanted to run. Some part of me thought, why am I doing this? But as I continued to be present, I made some decisions to say, okay, today is a new day, a new choice, a new way of living. And I am the only one, not God, not Satan, not anything else out there can make that choice for me, only me, which is a powerful choice. So I made that choice, did some aligning. And as I looked into my body, I remembered hearing from the guy that I was learning from. He was saying that, hey, observation versus perception, right? Perception, we go into something and we see it through these lenses of our past. Yet observation is to be able to see things as they are without our external perceptions or our past perceptions. And I think about how the times where I've gotten out of the reactivity into more presence, it's not just changing perception to observation, but taking perception to observation, which is more of a third-person view, to understanding. The difference there is one can observe without fully understanding. One can just see it. But to understand it is to feel it and sense it and experience it, embrace it as someone else might do. And when we can experience it, when we can feel it and observe how someone else is doing it, then we can understand. And when we understand, it's when we can love the most, when we can give the most. So as we go from just perceiving things through our past perceptions and experiences, labeling and judging and being reactive and angry and violent and sad and upset, whatever it might be, to observing, to where it's not passive, it's not just seeing it, but to undergo to understanding, where I can now not only not need my perceptions and not only observe it, but most importantly, understand what someone else might be observing, what they are perceiving. Then I can relate to them, I can love them, and I don't have to be reactive anymore. Because when understanding happens, healing occurs. The only pain comes from disconnection. So when I'm disconnected in my life, there is a pain. And then most of the life we spend running from the pain, which then causes more pain, more disconnections. So as I observe it and understand it, it connects and the pain dissipates and allows me to actually embrace my new identity, which is loving, understanding, and being able to give more. My daughter's like crying right now, so I gotta go take care of that. But I want you to know that no matter what you're going through, no matter what your family goes through, no matter what happens in life, that there's always a way to understand. So go through and start making changes in your life. If you want something to shake you up, do you need to go jump in an ice river? You could, it's fun. I've walked on coals and jumped in ice and nails and glass and done all sorts of breakthrough stuff. That's what that is. But true transformation always comes through a decision. Tools and techniques help us make those decisions. Some are better than others. Some are more effective than others. Some are easier than others. Some are faster than others. If you would like to make a big change in your life and you're not seeing the results that you want, I challenge you to start learning how to align. Learn how to listen to your body and do a simple technique that you breathe and pant and smile and master yourself. How do you do that? You can go to tylerfb.com, join the Facebook group, go through the unit section to learn some of the basics, or you can join a 10-day challenge. It is a challenge, and most people finish it because they commit to get the result. So if you want to experience a challenge in your life without having to plunge into icy cold water or walk on fire or whatever it might be, you can get the same effect except even greater, because not only are you just breaking through momentarily, but it is a choice every day to live in a state of alignment, to be able to have reactions happening and manage them in a way that transforms your life and those that you love. So if you'd like to join, the link is in the description. It's a 10-day experience where if you really want to come alive and experience some of the power of aligning and confronting and going from reaction or perception to observation to then understanding, then join the challenge to find your unstoppable. What that is the ability to pick a goal, go for the goal without the distractions, without flipping out, without getting all the reactions that distract us and make us take years to achieve it, when you could do it in weeks or days. So if you're ready to confront yourself, ready to understand other people, ready to break free, join the challenge. It's 10 days. It'll change your life forever. And you can find the link in the description. Otherwise, just like, subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so. But if you are really ready to change your perceptions, change your observations into a place of understanding, I challenge you to give it a try. I know you've tried a lot of things. I know you've experienced a lot of successes, but this might just be the next thing for you to experience the next level of transformation. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks for joining me today, and drop a comment below of how you're going to take your life to the next level.